Hello, my lovely friends. I hope today finds you well. My name is Lisa, and welcome to Isla and Alice. And today, I thought it would be fun to talk about using up old greeting cards in our junk journals. This is going to be a really simple, basic, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a tutorial. It's just basically some basic ideas on to help inspire you with using credit cards. Oh boy, that's a Freudian slip, isn't it? Greeting cards. We all get these gorgeous greeting cards in the mail, and they're little mini works of art, and you don't want to throw them out, God forbid. And but the trick is to figure out interesting ways to use them in your journal. I mean, you can just, this is a great example. This could just be a pocket. You know, I love everything about this, so I wouldn't want to cut it up. But I might sort of cut this off a little bit and then, just glue these three sides down. And it's a gorgeous pocket. Voila. End of video. No. But I'm just saying, like, some of these, like these, you don't, at least I wouldn't want to cut this up. And something like this, I would just use these as, here, I'd just use these as pockets, right? And some cards that I got this from my friend Stephanie the other day, and she's written in the front, and then she's included where she signed here. So what I'll do is I'm going to tape this in with my washi tape, and I'm going to tape along here, and I'm going to tape along here. And then if I wanted to, I could use this side for something for journaling, but I probably won't. But I could use this side here. So what I thought I would do is we'd go through quickly some cards that I have. Going to turn the camera around, and then I'll show you what I did and sort of explained why I did it. Like I said, this is going to be really super easy and basic. I'm not an expert in much of anything. Well, maybe a few things like overthinking and stuff like that. But yeah, so we're going to look at, let's just start off with some basics, and then that way can kind of get just the juices flowing and get you looking at your cards maybe in a different way. So there's a couple things that I love to do right off the bat. If you have a die cut machine, I like to take my circles and like take what have I got here? Something like this. This would be a great example, right? So you die cut out the tulips, and it makes a fantastic round journal spot or a tag. So I'll cut this out. I'll probably put a little hole in the top with some string just to make it look cute. And voila. Now you could also take, of course, pockets. Greeting cards, you would never have to make another pocket again if you just used all your greeting cards, because they're really designed to be perfect pockets. I don't know how else to say it, right? Some cards, depending on the size of your journal, something that's super pretty, in the sense that it's, this has got the ribbon here. It could be a pocket, but depending on the size, you could also use your two-way tape on the back, on the ends, and use it as a giant belly band, and then layer pretty paper behind this, just as an alternative to sort of your traditional pocket, right? Oh, this is super cute. So I would just use it. I would use this as a tip-in because I love it. I wouldn't want to change anything about it. Something like this. Some of these cards were given to me by my friend Katrina when her mother was getting rid of a bunch of old stuff. So I cut the backs. I cut the other side off of the cards because I didn't want to have the inscription from her mother's friends or whatever. This, what I would do is I would cut out around here and create a window and then put something behind, whether it's pretty paper or a journal card or something like that. One of my other favorite go-to things to do is to take a cutout of a tag, a gift tag, and sort of place this over, nope, not that one, not that. Okay, so I would take something like this maybe and put the tag over top of it and trace around it. And again, like I did with the circle, just create yourself a tag, and then you can journal on the back of it. The other thing that you can use for shapes are cookie cutters. Those are always very handy. And then if you have some of these, something like this is fun to sort of fussy cut around. And then you've created an interesting tuck spot to put something behind. And it's not just a regular card size. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and then we'll put some of these in my journal so you can have an idea of what I'm doing. Did I show you this? No. The other thing that I like to do with cards that I can cut into squares easily is to turn them into tiny little envelopes. And that's really fun too, because then you can just tuck it behind something and you still get to see all of the pretty pattern on the card. So, okay, I will be right back. Okay, so here we are. I have pre-cut, pre-taped, pre-made everything so that the process can go a little bit faster. Okay, so one thing I did want to show was I had this beautiful card, and the paper, however they had glued this on here, was not glued very well, and the paper really just easily pulled out. And I was like, ooh, this would make a great cover for a tiny notebook or journal. And because I had already made this little booklet to show you, so this was part of a card that I folded in half, and then I just stitched in a few pieces of paper, some floral paper, and this gives me a lot of hidden journaling, which you guys know I absolutely love. So I stamped the back so that it wasn't just plain white. And I stamped the front. As you can see, I smudged it a little bit. And then I also put a little pocket in the front because I love little pockets. I don't know. There's something about little things, right? Little pockets, little pads of paper, anything miniature is, anyways, is interesting. So I got that there. So this is my another little hidden journaling spot. So this could go into any pocket. Right? So this is, I think, another really interesting and useful way to use a card front, because then you've turned it into a little notebook and it's super cute. So, okay, now what I did on this page here, this is where we're going to start. This is sort of where we left off, and I just put in a piece of ledger paper for now underneath this picture of Raggedy Ann. So I had a card here, and this was like this. So I cut it apart and turned this side into a tag. This I'll probably fussy cut around here and use this as some sort of band to tuck something underneath that way. I think that's sort of the plan. But for now, with this turned into a tag, and I can journal on the back here. I can cover this with white paper if I wanted to. This was part of a card that I just fussy cut out, and then I used my two-way tape to stick it in, and goes in there like that. So perfect. I mean, I could put something else underneath there if I wanted to, but for now I just like the look of the pink contrast to the black and white in the back, and then the gold and the cream here on the front. Super easy and super quick. So now this page, what I want to do, actually I'm going to take this out and move this up so that this is a little flat. So I took a card. This was just a white card, and it fits very well there. So I just put my two-way tape at the top and the bottom here. So I'm just going to stick that on. You can use glue, like regular white glue, but for me, I just use that two-way tape because it's faster and it's less messy. So then, just that goes underneath there like that. And then this was the front of a card, and I used one of my fancy kid scissors here, the Fiskars Paper Edgers Ripple. And I turned this into on the back. I took another little piece of a card, made a pocket, and then just put a tiny, again, because I'm really, I like making tiny pockets, I'm not going to lie. Which reminds me, I'm sorry, I just realized I didn't use the tiny envelope that I made. That will have to be another video. That'll be my PS. Sorry. Anyhow, focus, focus, focus. So this is what can be called a floating pocket, because you could stick it underneath there like that, or you could go back. I mean, basically the idea is you can move it around, so it's not attached to the page, so it's not committed to one spot in your journal. But I thought that was a really good example of how you can take part of a card, cut it down, put a little pocket on the back, and again, you have an instant little spot to hide something in. So then on this side, so I made 2 circle tags with my die cut machine. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pocket on this side, and then these 2 are going to go in there. So I again took my two-way tape, and then I created the 2 pockets just by putting, of course, the tape in the middle. Stick that on there. So then, this is hidden journaling on the back here, and that just gets tucked in there. And then this is super pretty on either side. So I just liked it. I mean, I guess I could write something in there, but honestly, I just thought it was pretty. So it might just be for prettiness and not for function. So I just thought that was a great way of using up the 2 big circles. And again, these could go anywhere. This could go underneath here. This can get stuck, right? I mean, the world is your oyster when it comes to these things. So that's super easy. And because I like this page, I like that I can see the black and white schematic drawing from underneath the tag there. Now, this page, I have this card, and I just put, again, my two-way tape, and I'm just going to cover up here because this is the more blank part of the page. So my philosophy was I could cover up part of the blank page like this, because I'm not trying to hide this. I quite like this. This actually is from one of my textbooks when I went to fashion school, and I hated I hated this book. It was so hard. Anyways, I think about how if my teacher, if they knew, oh my god, if Miss Toop ever watches this video, my apologies. But I get a little bit of revenge out of using this book in a journal. However, I do really like the lines and the text in it. But anyways. Okay, so then that will just get tucked up in there. And then this was another part of another card. And I like that it was green on the back. So journaling there. And then if you wanted to, again, you can layer these things up. And then you can create an interesting visual between colors, shapes, lines, what have you. It's super easy, right? Super easy. And then here, I already had this pocket in here when I made the journal. So I decided to take this card and then this card, and I just put them together with tape and created another card because I feel like Captain Obvious sometimes when I'm doing this, right? Yeah, so there's a ton of hidden journaling in here, and it's super cute. So I just used a little bit of Scotch tape, and you can see that hopefully you can see, I've left a tiny little bit of space in between the cards, and that really helps them to lie flat. And I was talking to somebody the other day about washi tape. When we do these, sometimes we ask a lot out of the washi tape. So if you find when you're doing projects like this and your washi tape keeps pulling up, just use a little bit of your glue stick or your white glue to just glue it down. Because I do find that it's not permanent tape, so it really can take on a life of its own. But anyways, okay, so that goes in there. And then this is, again, ridiculously easy. So I just cut the card down to fit. And I took my punch, like my circle punch, and I just put it in a tiny little bit, clunk clunk, to give it that. I love these little dips for I don't know what reason. Then that's going to go on there like that. I mean, if you have a drawer full of cards, you really will never have to worry about what to use to make a pocket ever again. Then, like I talked about in the first video, I took this card, turned it into a tag, and then I would journal on the back there. And then that's just going to go in there. And I really like the contrast between the sort of mustard color, the green, and then the colors in here. I think that looks really pretty. And then, you know, as always, if you wanted to, you could fold something up. You still have room to stick something else in behind there, like that, to give yourself more journal space. Then I took this one, and I decided that I wanted to do a hidden pocket sort of thing within a pocket. So I just glued down a piece of paper on the back of this card, right? And I really do like the contrast of being able to pull things from the bottom as well as the side and as well as the top. So that's super simple. So I just made sure that I put the piece of paper in, and I did. I put the tape at the top as well. So then I just got the two-way tape here. Get that off there. I'm just going to glue that in the middle of the page here. So this comes out nice and easy, like this. And then I have this tag, and I was cutting something else out. Oh, it was this. This was on the back of this. And I didn't realize that when I cut it out. But when I was done using my paper cutter, this fell off the back. And I was like, at first I thought, oh, I don't really want that. And then I read it again, and it said, someone you like to talk to, sharing with, someone you want to know to get better, or someone you want to get to know better. And I was like, oh, that could be about me, right? Like, ha. So I kept that. And then I decided that I would use this as a journal spot here. And then because we've created a new pocket, this will go just underneath here. Did you hear that? I think that's thunder. It's snowing like crazy outside. Ooh, that's weird. I love that. You know, now, this was the card from Stephanie that I showed you. So what I did was I folded it sort of backwards, and then I taped it in with my washi tape here and here. And this will give me a spot to do something with if I want to write here, whatever. Here's her lovely message. And then I used my die cut machine to create one of these fancy circles. I was going to put a pocket on here. There's a few things that you could do with this. I just decided, in the interest of showing that not everything has to be glued down, right? So this would be a tiny little bit of journaling that could go there. Obviously I don't want to cover this up. I could create a little tiny pocket here, you know, something like this, and then we do this. The other thing that you could, depending on how bulky things are in your journal, you could take your one of your little booklets, fasten that on there like that. Maybe take this away. And then there you have it. There's a place for your little tiny book, right? So that's it. That's all I prepared. I thought that would be enough for one. I hope that would give you a bunch of good ideas and things to practice with, things to try out. And again, to just start cutting up the cards. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be fancy. You just need your cards, some tape, your glue, some paper, and off you go. Off you go. So, thanks a lot for watching. I really hope this gives you some inspiration and some great ideas. Yeah, see, you know what else I could do? I would do this. I would do something like that. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. Okay, that's it. I will stop, because otherwise it'll be a 4-hour video and nobody wants that. Okay, thanks for watching, you guys. Have a great, great day. Enjoy working in your journal, and make sure, most importantly, that you have a lot of fun and you don't worry about mistakes, and you just go ahead and do it and enjoy yourself. So thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye, everybody. See you later.